look at satellite and radar. Southern and central Utah, a chance for some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, which we're already starting to see develop right now in those portions of the state. Forecast at a glance for Salt Lake, we'll have 65 today. Upper 40s for the Cottonwoods with some flurries possible, and for St. George becoming partly cloudy, mid 70s. Tonight into tomorrow morning for Salt Lake City, 44 degrees, mostly clear and mild. We head into the next couple of days and our temperatures are just going to kind of keep warming up, but we will have more chances for showers and thunderstorms here across the state with this unsettled weather. Let's talk more about that and your most recent pollen count. It's all in my full forecast.
Great. Thank you, Allison. Well, people around the country protested stay-at-home measures over the weekend. We'll have the latest on that coming up. And several people are dead following a mass shooting in Canada. The latest on what we know about this shooter, why this happened, still ahead. Well, some folks are calling for a reopening around the country as millions remain under stay-at-home orders. Fox's Jonathan Seri has more from Atlanta.
The coronavirus death toll passes 165,000 worldwide as countries try to contain the outbreak. With more than 750,000 cases, the U.S. has more infections than the next 4 countries combined.
Exercise and living a healthiest life can really make us much stronger when we're facing viral infections, pandemics.
Meanwhile, protests over stay-at-home orders continued to take place over the weekend. People in at least 5 states, including Colorado, Florida, and Illinois, held demonstrations calling for a reopening of their businesses. Globally, countries like Germany, Spain, and Italy have started easing restrictions on certain retail stores. In the U.S., Florida officials reopened some beaches, while Texas state parks are allowing visitors to enter if they wear face masks.
If we are healthy, let us get the virus. Let the virus run its course, okay?
We understand the health risks. We understand the need to take care of each other. But we also understand the need to keep the economy going.
But health officials are calling for an increase in testing before life fully returns to normal. Harvard researchers say the country would need to triple its tests to 500,000 per day in order to open by mid-May.
I think once we have access to quality testing that is highly specific and sensitive, then we can read out anyone who has an infection, is a carrier, but is not exhibiting symptoms.
President Trump says there are plans to increase test swab production by at least 20 million per month. In Atlanta, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
In world news, there was a lot of talk that Singapore really had things under control, but now reporting a high jump in coronavirus cases. The country is getting hundreds every day. More than 1,400 cases were reported in 24 hours, which brings the total to 8,000 there. Officials say most are linked to migrant workers who often live in large dormitories and have little access to expensive testing. The U.S. Navy has released video of a Russian jet flying too close, they say, to a Navy plane. You can see how close there. The Navy says it happened twice yesterday, in addition to an earlier occurrence last Wednesday. The first intercept by the Russian jet Sunday was deemed safe and professional, but the second, they said, was unsafe and unprofessional. That's also how the Navy characterized the intercept that took place last week. The Navy says that in all cases, it was acting according to international law and did not provoke the incidents. This Wednesday is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. The event started back in 1970. It usually is marked by big parades and rallies, but not this year. The celebration will go digital for the first time. You can watch the events broadcast during a 3-day live stream. Well, today, construction starts on Foothill Drive. Crews will be resurfacing the road from 1300 East to 2100 South and on Stringham Avenue to I-215. Foothill Drive, of course, is on the east side of Salt Lake City, if you're not familiar. A pedestrian ramp will be available during the day and lanes will be closed in some areas. Most of the work will happen at night. Work is expected to finish in the fall of 2020. That's this year. So in the fall. The Transjordan landfill is opening back up today. It was closed March 30th in order to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. However, it will now open, but with a few guidelines. Only credit and debit cards will be accepted for transactions. Social distancing will be enforced all around the landfill, and only limited interactions with landfill staff will be permitted, but there will still be a lot of seagulls. I added that last part, but I'm sure it's true. Troopers and Murray City firefighters had to make an unexpected rescue. A mother duck and her ducklings had stopped traffic on I-15 northbound at 4700 South in Murray yesterday afternoon. A trooper was able to get them away from traffic and onto the side of the freeway barrier, but one of the ducklings had fallen into a storm drain. That's when Murray City Fire had to be called to remove the drain grate. The duckling was saved and reunited with its siblings and mother, who took them down a different path to safety. Salt Lake City Public Land says water levels throughout their creeks have been rising as the weather starts to heat up. No big surprise there, but of course that creates a high risk of drowning. So they are asking people to be careful in case they leave their house to enjoy nature. The same goes for all of Utah's rivers and streams. Now make sure to keep an eye on your pets and especially on your children, as the currents in the creeks can be really fast, really dangerous. And it is so nice outside, Allison. It's just gorgeous. A great time to go out for a walk.
Well, Max, I wanted to let you know that I appreciated your landfill joke. I love going out there.
I love the landfill.
Pretty crazy,
yeah.
But yeah, it's a good time. You get some anger out when you're throwing things in over there.
Oh yeah, toss
well,
all
hey
the
guys,
stuff.
no matter what you're doing, if you're working on some home renovation projects, or maybe you're working on your garden at home, either way, you're going to have comfortable temperatures outside. So I worked on some projects in my garage yesterday. It was really nice to be able to do that. Not too terribly cold outside. And then, of course, we've got the sunshine as well. So we head into the next couple of days and we're going to keep our warm temperatures around, but we will have some increased chances for showers and thunderstorms at times over the next week. For today, that focus will mainly be on southern and central Utah, northern Utah Wasatch right now, looking and feeling really good. This is a live look from our Intermountain cam. So this is in Murray, facing north right now at 61 degrees. Look at that wind. It's out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. This is perfect for getting out and going for a walk. It feels very comfortable right now across northern Utah. But southern Utah, that's where we have some of the showers and thunderstorms that'll be developing this afternoon. Already seeing some of that light precipitation coming down across the south. This is mostly the southern 2/3 of the state today. As we look at satellite and radar here across northern Utah, mostly clear sky. Over in Ely, big improvement to our visibility. This was where we had very dense fog earlier this morning, and temperatures have warmed up. So it was in the 30s. It was in the 20s like an hour ago. It was in the 30s, and it was very cold this morning with dense fog. Big improvement at 46 right now. Most of the state close to 60 degrees. For today in Salt Lake City, expect a high to be 65. Sunny and very nice. Tonight here across the state into tomorrow morning, a sunrise temp, we'll have that about 45 degrees, mostly clear and mild. Now, looking at the severe weather risk across the country, there is a slight chance for severe weather in southern Missouri today, but that lighter kind of mint green that you're seeing in southern Colorado, southern Utah, southern Nevada, northern Arizona, that's just some thunderstorms that'll develop. We'll want to keep our eye on those, but temperatures are going to be feeling so nice. I think a lot of you will want to get outside and go for a walk or maybe a hike. No, there is a chance for some flurries along the mountains across far northern Utah this afternoon. Most of us will be in the 60s across the state, and then for overnight temps this evening, 40 to 45 for a lot of you. We head into the next couple of days, and we're going to have this chance for showers this afternoon, mostly in the southern 2/3 of Utah, but best chance along the highest terrain. By tomorrow, we're also going to have that chance for some showers in the same areas across the south, and especially towards the Four Corners. Then Thursday, that's when I think we're going to have more clouds across northern Utah, and our best chance for showers and thunderstorms will be on Thursday. By Friday, partly cloudy sky and temperatures really warming up. Look at this, St. George, mid-70s today and tomorrow. then 80s Wednesday through Saturday, and by Sunday, maybe even 90 degrees. And for Salt Lake, we're also warming up. So even though we have that chance for showers and thunderstorms on Thursday, it's probably only going to be about a 5-degree cool down. And then we're back up into the 70s, potentially by Saturday and Sunday. So if you like 60s and 70s, maybe some spring showers mixed in, then this is really the forecast for you. But heading into the next few days, morning should be pretty mild, and then afternoons very comfortable.
All right, we do want to share some breaking news with you. We just have some preliminary information. South Jordan police say there's a suspicious death investigation going on at the 102nd block, as you can see, of Jordan Creek Drive. And so we do have a crew headed there. We're trying to get the latest information for you, and we'll bring that to you as soon as it is available. Still ahead on Live at Noon, thousands of people, thousands of employees with Disney are no longer getting paid. What it means for that entertainment powerhouse. All right, taking a look at money this morning, or I should say this afternoon, pardon me. It is down on all of the major indexes. You can see 1 7/10 on the Dow. The S&P is also down, not as much, and the NASDAQ down just a touch, but it's the Dow that's down the most today. In business news, coronavirus furloughs start for Disney workers, and a CEO calls for a reopening of the Vegas Strip. Fox Business Network's Cheryl Casoni has these stories and more in today's Midday Market Report.
Furloughs now hitting the Walt Disney Company. More than 100,000 company employees will stop being paid this week. This as Disney parks around the world remain closed during the coronavirus pandemic. Companies expected to save more than $500 million each month from the furloughs. It will still offer health care benefits, though, for its workers. Well, the head of Wynn Resorts laying out his plan to reopen the Las Vegas Strip by the end of May. CEO Matt Maddox saying it all depends on the state's testing capabilities. Extensive safety measures will be put in effect, including using thermal cameras, physical distancing, and hand sanitizer. Staff and guests would also be encouraged to wear face masks and gloves. And game on, Facebook is jumping into live gaming with its own app, taken on YouTube and Twitch. The emphasis is going to be on creating and watching live game streams. Facebook says the app will only be available for Android devices for now. Well, for more, log on to foxbusiness.com. In New York, I'm Cheryl Casoni.
In more money news, gas prices keep dropping thanks in large part to the pandemic. AAA reports the average price for a gallon of self-serve regular is nearly $1.82. That's down about 5 cents from last week. Man, I have not seen it that low locally. I wonder if you have. Just over $1 less than it was this time last year. In some states, including Colorado, Kentucky, Mississippi, New York, and Ohio, prices at the pump are under $1 per gallon. I can't imagine. Wow. Analysts say the cost of crude has not been this low since 2002, and they predict the cost of gas will continue to drop. Well, if you're still wondering what to do with your stimulus money, we may be able to help. We're going to be talking to Gary Gigi from Gigi Capital Management. He'll talk to us about investing in these times, and today is Money Monday.
Live from Fox 13 Studios, this is Fox 13's Live at Noon.
And it is 12:30 now, so welcome back to Live at Noon. We want to catch you up on our top stories. The Utah Department of Public Safety announced yesterday they are pausing the Amber Alert notifications through their wireless emergency alert system because they woke up a whole bunch of people at 3:30 in the morning over the weekend. A glitch in the system alerted about 2 million cell phones Sunday morning of an Amber Alert, and there was nothing additional. It simply said Amber Alert. You may have gotten it. For the time being, information on Amber Alerts will be pushed by the department's website and social media, as well as to local law enforcement, and of course, we will have it in the media, the mainstream media as well. The wireless emergency alert system will still be used for state disasters or emergency alerts. No arrests have been made after a double homicide rocked a West Jordan neighborhood this weekend. Tony and Catherine Butterfield were shot and killed in their home on Saturday morning. The couple's 3 children, all of them under age 4, were unharmed in the event. Friends say the whole thing makes no sense, but West Jordan police say they are making progress on the case. If you have any information, you're asked to call the West Jordan police. We do have a link to a fundraising page for the Butterfield children on our website. Authorities continue to investigate an apartment fire last Thursday. It displaced dozens of residents. The fire started just after 3 in the morning, seemingly in one of the vehicles in the carport. It caused $1 million in damage by the time it was put out. Investigators have been going through the rubble ever since, and they are calling the fire suspicious. If the fire was human-caused, a criminal investigation will try to figure out exactly what happened. If you do have any information, you are asked to call South Salt Lake Fire.
Hey everyone, what a nice day here in Salt Lake City. Temperatures are going to be a little bit above average here the next few days. And if you live in southern Utah and you've got a pool, you've got pool weather heading into this upcoming weekend. But for today, we'll continue with some unsettled weather here across the state. Obviously not here in Salt Lake City where we've got mostly clear sky. I'm not going to rule out maybe a few flurries though if you're going to do some hiking this afternoon. So keep that in mind. Our best chance for showers and thunderstorms today will be along the highest terrain. But here in Salt Lake at 61 degrees with wind out of the northwest, about 5 to 10 miles per hour. 48 for Alta, 56 in Draper, 63 in Lehigh. As we look up towards Ogden, 60 right now. 54 in Provo. Across central and southern Utah, temperatures still 50s and 60s, so it's feeling great right now. Ely was super cold this morning and very dense fog, but that's all improved. It's now in the 40s and visibility is really good. Across southern Utah, this is where we've got showers and thunderstorms already starting. Well, just the showers. We don't have those thunderstorms going quite yet as we zoom into southern Utah. So Cedar City down towards Zion National Park, over towards Bryce Canyon, up through Escalante, just up on the edge of Capitol Reef, starting to see a few of those showers filling in. So temperatures aren't really going to cool down a ton. We'll keep it in the 60s the next couple of days for Salt Lake today, 60s and sunny. For the Cottonwoods and flurries, highs in the 40s. For St. George, mid-70s. And for tomorrow in Salt Lake City, we've got temperatures that'll be in the mid-40s. Mostly clear and mild. Now we head into the next couple of days, and our unsettled weather will continue. And then we're also going to see more chances for the widespread rain and snow across northern Utah. Let's talk more about that and what you can expect. As I mentioned, that pool weather plus the most recent pollen count. It's all in my full forecast.
In world news, Canada's worst ever mass shooting took place over the weekend, allegedly carried out by a 51-year-old denture manufacturer. Fox News correspondent Eric Shawn has more from New York.
It touches you right here, you know what I mean? It's scary.
It is the deadliest mass shooting in Canadian history. Police in the province of Nova Scotia say 51-year-old Gabriel Wortman went on a 12-hour shooting spree over the weekend that stretched over 55 miles overnight. Wortman owned a company that made dentures, and officials say they still do not know why he did it.
Countless families are in mourning today. The impact of this incident will extend from one end of the province to the other.
The massacre started on Saturday night when police went to Wortman's house on a firearms complaint. That's where they say they found the first victims, both inside and outside his house. Police believe those victims were targeted. The others that followed were shot at random. After disguising himself as a police officer, Wortman was eventually killed in an exchange of gunfire after he stopped at a gas station near the Halifax airport. Royal Canadian Mounted Police Officer Heidi Stevenson was among those killed. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau tweeting his condolences, writing in part, quote, "Canadians across the country are mourning with you and are here to support you through this tragedy." The last major mass shooting in Canada was back in 1989 that killed 14 people. Some say the loss of life could have been worse if not for the coronavirus lockdown.
That place is full every day. So being a Sunday, that he could have done a lot of damage. So I'm glad that the restaurant was closed.
Police are investigating how Wortman got his guns. Firearms are severely restricted in Canada. In New York, Eric Shawn, Fox News.
Well, there could be an agreement today on a new virus rescue package. This comes as funding from the first federal stimulus deal starts to run out for small businesses. Lawmakers are eyeing up to $450 billion this time around. It will focus on boosting that payment protection program for small businesses and also add funds for hospitals and COVID-19 testing. That's what Democrats were demanding. Members from both the House and Senate are optimistic they'll reach a deal today with a vote later this week. And there is some hope amid some more bad news coming from New York. Governor Andrew Cuomo gave an update yesterday about the ongoing coronavirus outbreak in his state. Cuomo announced the death toll in New York dropped again, giving the governor some hope that the state was finally on the other side of a plateau and that the ongoing social distancing practices were showing signs of working. Now, Cuomo said 507 people died on Saturday. That's down 43 from the previous day. Hospitalizations and other medical indicators are also trending downward. Wells Fargo is facing a lawsuit. A company based in California claims the bank performed unfair actions against some smaller organizations that sought financial relief from the Paycheck Protection Program. According to the lawsuit, Wells Fargo prioritized the companies that requested large loans, even though the government said that the Payment Protection Program applications would be first come, first served. The lawsuit says this move would result in Wells Fargo getting more money in processing fees. Facebook says they are reaching out to their subscribers to help spread data about COVID-19. How that works, coming up. All right, time for some health news. A new report indicates that Americans are using more tranquilizers and sleeping aids to get through the coronavirus crisis. An Express Scripts study says that the coronavirus is creating a surge in demand as Americans struggle with the pandemic's life implications. The largest spike is coming in anti-anxiety drugs, by rising more than 34% from mid-February to mid-March. You can imagine a lot of anxiety these days. Prescriptions for antidepressants grew more than 18%, while sleeping medications ticked up more than 14%. At a time where disinfecting and hand washing take top priorities, officials at the FDA say food packaging is one thing you don't need to worry about wiping down with sanitizer. In the administration's recent list of how you can keep yourself safe while food shopping, officials say, quote, there's no evidence food packaging has been associated with the transmission of COVID-19. They do, however, say that it won't hurt to wipe them down if you do want to be extra cautious. And some of the other FDA safety suggestions include planning your grocery lists in advance and not buying more food than you need, washing your hands before and after putting your groceries away, and washing fresh produce before eating it to avoid foodborne illnesses. The social media giant Facebook is now doing its part to track the spread of COVID-19. CEO Mark Zuckerberg told the Washington Post the company is working with Carnegie Mellon University, that's in Pittsburgh, on the project. Users are invited to take surveys on whether they are experiencing COVID-19 symptoms. Data could help anticipate major outbreaks at the county level. Zuckerberg said the surveys have generated 1 million responses a week. He added that he is working with the University of Maryland as well to take this survey global. All right, it is time for Money Monday. And with more and more people getting stimulus money, we want to talk about ways to invest it if that is what you choose to do. So with us this afternoon via Zoom, we have Gary Gigi from Gigi Capital Management. It is good to see you, Gary. And I imagine some people are looking kind of at the economic environment right now and thinking, investing? I think that might be pretty wary of that. So what do you say?
Well, and to be honest with you, that's not the top of my list. It is on my list. But for people that are receiving stimulus money, then the things that my top of the list are paying down high credit card debt, putting it into a savings. If you don't have an emergency savings, start one. If you are flush with cash, find a worthy cause to donate it to.
And Gary, then, what would you say if you were going to say this is the difference between investing and saving?
Okay, savings is like putting it into an interest-bearing account, say at the bank, something like that, or a money market account, so that it's not subject to risk. It's just going to earn simple interest, which is not very much right now, but it's there in case you need it. Investing is more looking at equity markets or mutual funds, exchange traded funds, stocks, things like that, or real estate if you're looking for a non-liquid asset.
Yeah,
and so
you were telling us about some of your tips, and you mentioned the savings, and I interrupted you, but we have some of your tips listed here, including making sure you have enough food storage.
That's right. And so I know that's popular in this area, and if some people have been living off of that over the last month or so and need to replenish food storage or self-reliance items, then go and do that now. I mean, there's a couple of things I know, Max, and certain things I don't know. One thing I do know is this is going to end. What I don't know is when it's going to end. And so let's say it goes on for another month or so, and people have been using up food in their food storage. Go and replenish it now and be able to have some extra in case you actually need it.
And there's one thing that I always hear when when a downturn comes, a recession like this. There's so much advertising for different ways to invest. People trying to sell you gold and silver and I don't know what. How do you deal with things like that?
You go find a professional who you trust and have them walk you through that. There's pros and cons for everything, and so a lot of investments take the escalator up, but they take the elevator down, meaning that they stair-step up, but when they drop, they go straight down. Various assets like that. Real estate, which is a great investment. I own some outside of my home, but it's illiquid. So you need to know the pros and cons of that. Stocks, mutual funds, things like that. There are pros to owning them, but there's volatility that can go along with them. So you really need to talk to a professional who can walk you through the pros and cons of your personal situation and help you make a good choice.
All right, Gary Gigi, really great practical advice. We didn't get to your last tip, so I'm just going to say it really quickly because we're out of time, but that is to give the money away to a worthy cause if you are doing well, because there are a lot of people who are not, and if you're one of the lucky ones, then help somebody out. Thanks so much, Gary.
Sounds good. Thanks, Max. Talk to you later.
Many Utah businesses are struggling in the wake of COVID-19, so Fox 13 News is featuring a lot of those businesses that are adapting in order to stay open. So today, Big Budah is at Texas Roadhouse for our segment called We're Open Utah.
Hey, welcome back. It's our feature called We're Open Utah, just highlighting businesses who are trying to stay afloat while we're in this crazy COVID-19 time. Things are going to get better, I know that. But for now, let's tell you and how you can order your food from Texas Roadhouse. Rich, let's tell everybody again what you got. You got cooked food, you got raw food. What is going on, brother?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have our family packs. You can order for a family of 4 or even more with steaks, ribs, pulled pork, chicken. We've also got our box lunches that we're serving 7 days a week from 11:30 to 4. And then we also have an option to where if you'd rather grill at home, we've got our ready-to-grill steaks where you can call in, go on our website, or use our mobile app, and you can order those steaks. And you want to reach out to your local Texas Roadhouse, your favorite Texas Roadhouse, to see what kind of deals they've got going on.
Yeah. Now, have you been doing the raw steaks for a while? Why am I just now hearing about this? This is crazy.
Yeah, we're absolutely selling raw steaks, so I think it's kind of unique for somebody to take Texas Roadhouse to their home. And then also we've got partnered up with Miss International Robin Towell for a neat thing that we're doing here tomorrow afternoon.
All right, well let's catch up with her. Sorry, Robin, how are you today?
Well, I'm hungry now. I've been cooking and I got to get over here and order some steak.
Okay, nobody believes that you have been cooking all morning long. Show them your hands. Yeah, do those look like hands that cook? No, those look like hands that wave and blow kisses.
I actually learned how to put makeup on again today. It's been a really long time.
Tell me about what you got going on.
Well, tomorrow we're going to be taking box lunches up to LDS Hospital. We'll get to take them to the nurses who are on the front line, helping those who are dealing with this pandemic and risking their lives. So we're so excited to give them a thank you and let them know how much we appreciate what they're doing.
Now, can people help you out? Do you need volunteers, or you guys got everything else?
Well, you're welcome to go and put on I will have a link in this that you can go and Venmo if you want to contribute, so we can take lunch in another day. My Venmo is at Robin Towel, so if you want to send it, just put what it's for, and we'll make sure that we make another trip out to the hospital and take more food.
Well, we applaud your efforts on giving back to the first responders and the frontline workers. Rich, let's drop that website one more time and phone number for the curbside assistance.
Yeah, you can just download our mobile app from your cell phone. You can also go to TexasRoadhouse.com, choose your location, and then place an order there.
All right, there you go. So to answer the question you're always talking about, who's open? Who can I go to get some food? Texas Roadhouse is open. All right, if you know of a business that could use some exposure and stay afloat, give us a line. Just go to fox13now.com. Bye, guys.